Well, hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Man, am I excited for this video as we discuss the best tarps and tents to look for when you're deciding on your outdoor adventures for 2018. The items that I want to share with you today have been previously tested in past years. Some of them you may find this year have been upgraded or tuned up depending on the company, but I want to share with you just a few items that are mostly budget friendly that are going to not only hit a good price point but give you a good value and performance. All of those things coming into alignment, because it's easy for you to either try and cut corners and try and hit the budget, but then you're not going to get the performance, or you're going for high-end price points, but then you may not get all the value of some items that are out there that we have previously tested and reviewed in the Rocky Mountains on years gone by. So I hope to equip you in this video so that you'll have the best and most enjoyable experience the next time you either hit the trail or the campsite this spring, summer, and fall season of 2018. So let's go ahead, break these tarps and tents down, show you what these have to offer and why I recommend them. So first up on the docket is the Kelty Salida series. These are fantastic tents. We've been using them literally since the channel began. They've always had kind of renditions and renditions every few years. They'll update them a little bit. But guys, for the value to weight to performance, these are great backpacking tents. That's why we love them. I have a Salida 1, have used a Salida 2 for years, and I actually downgraded to the Salida 1 just to cut down a little bit on weight. The Salida 1 is going to be definitely a great size for a single backpacker or someone that has a dog that I would say is about 50 pounds or less, and you're a backpacker. This thing is ultra light. I love the weight for what you're paying, which is about what I paid, about $120, which is really insane to not only get a rain cover, you're getting a lot of features, and it's not just so tiny that it's like, you know, a bivvy. You definitely have room to sit up. You have room to move around and get changed. If you don't have a pet with you, if you do have your dog with you, there's still enough room to do that. A little vestibule, really well built for the price, and I believe you're going to get years and years of use. The Salida 2 that I've had for years, which is a great two-man tent, we were able to get myself, my wife, and our dog Tommy, who's about 50 pounds, in that one. It was a little tight, but we could do that one as well. Great weight to value to performance. So the Salida series, just depending on what size you think you're going to want to gravitate to, is a great value, particularly if you're going to be carrying your tents and you're looking for a backpack type of tent. The one drawback to these tents is that because they are more lightweight, some of the aspects to them won't be as heavy duty. Some of the zippers and different things like that I noticed weren't super overbuilt like some camping tents are. And that's where maybe if you spend like a $300 on like a big Angus, or some of those other higher end $200 to $300 tents, you may see a little bit higher quality. But for me, now having had the Salida 2 for about 5 or 6 years and having the Salida 1 now for 2 years, totally performing for what I need going out on the trail a couple times a year for overnighters or multi-day backpacking. Next up is the Mountainsmith Mountain Shade Tarp. This thing is phenomenal. We tested it out last year, have used it on many day hikes, for rain and that type of thing and shade, but also on a couple camping trips as well as a couple backpacking trips, and really been able to get a really good feel for how this performs in downpours as well as protecting from the sun. And this thing has held up very well for us. It's going to come in between $50 and $60. It's going to come with all the guidelines as well as a good stuff sack that you may need. Very lightweight for what it has to offer. Great water resistance, so when downpours were coming, we didn't have any seepage or any problems like that. And there are options that either you can just tie to trees and different attachment points that way. You can use your trekking poles and even use it as a really lightweight shelter. If you want to go ultralight when you're backpacking, you could easily cover a couple people. If you were an ultralight backpacker, it definitely has that capability. And you can also get their tarp poles that will give you a lot of height so that you could walk underneath it. Great for picnics, parties in the yard, and going to like festivals and that type of thing. So we really had a ton of use, was able to gift a few away to different friends and family. They love them, they use them regularly, and has really performed well for us at a great price point when you're wanting to get not only protection from the sun, but also the elements. The only downside that I saw with this tarp is the fact that you basically kind of have to do the A-frame style, and that's how it's designed. You can't do some of those crazy tarp formations that are out there with tarps that maybe have multiple lashing points and multiple grommet holes all around. And just the way it's laid out, it's not cut out in a perfect square. It's cut out with kind of points at each of the grommet holes, making it, again, great as long as you're doing some form of kind of A-frame or just lean-to shape. But outside of those two designs, which is what most people do, you're not going to be able to do that. Some of the more unique layouts with tarps you may not find very capable because of the way that this particular tarp has been cut out. But other than that, and for me, I usually do A-frame or lean-to shapes, and for the performance to price to size, it works fantastic. So the final tarps I want to discuss with you are AquaQuest tarps. Now these things are super tough, very durable. I can't remember the dimensions, I'll annotate it in. But these things are like overbuilt tarps. These things are stuff that you would maybe use like on a hunting trip, maybe in a survival situation. Military grade is what I would say. I mean, these things are heavy duty, or that you're just looking as a tarp for your main shelter. You're not wanting to take tents with you, and you want something that's going to stand the test of time and give you 1,000 lashing options. These things have so many different lashing options that are really built well, quadruple stitched. So these will be higher durability than the other ones that we've listed today, but they will obviously weigh more, so that's something, as well as cost more. So those are things you need to weigh. They may have some lightweight versions, so you can look into that, but these would be really for somebody that I think you use tarps a ton and you see major value in them and you want lots of setup options. AquaQuest, any one of their tarps are phenomenal, and I would highly recommend them to you. And again, really being the only drawback is that you're going to pay for them. You know, the price is pretty high compared to what else I've shared with you today, and that they're pretty heavy duty. They're pretty overbuilt, but that may be what you're looking for depending on the type of situation you want to deploy the tarp in. Next up are some of my favorite heavy duty tents on the market. They give you huge value, but also heavy duty performance compared to some of those lightweight backpacking style tents. I'm talking about the Mountainsmith Morrison Evo series. Now they have right now a 2-person and a 4-person. We've tested out the 4-person before when we went to Moab. Last year we did a multi-day camping trip with these. Fantastic. Some of the best tents I've ever seen, and I've had a lot of tents over the years, ever since a kid, going with my dad all the way through to today. And what the things that really stand out for me are the durability aspects to it, all the extra things that they include for about $200 on the 4-person and about $170 on the 2-person. All of them are going to come with good stakes, not just the little, aluminum pole ones. I'm talking about like V stakes that are a little bit more durable. They're going to come with their own footprint that is included, as well as just a heavier duty build overall in the aluminum poles, as well as just everything seam taped. It has a bathtub floor, both of these designs. They both have waterproof, coverings that also have doors on either side, so you can get in from either side, not only through the rain vestibule, but also through the tent itself, which is a huge plus. So you're not having to climb over your buddy. That was one of the other drawbacks to the Kelty Salida series, is if you go with one of the larger models, there's only one door as of the features that I've seen to date. So you have to climb over your partner if you have to get out throughout the evening, or whatever it is, or whoever else is in there. Whoever's on the far side is going to have to climb over. That's not the case. You have 2 doors, 2 vestibule openings, as well as a third option to use it as kind of a sunshade or an ultralight feature that just gives you the waterproof shell and then the floor. And then you don't use all the extra pieces. Now, it's not as great against like bug protection if you're in a high, bug area, but waterproof, and it will cut down on weight, and it's great again for festivals, different things like that. If you don't want to spring for a tarp, this kind of gives you that option, and you can sit underneath it and enjoy yourself. But great setup for the price point, tough and durable. And really the only drawback that I see is the weight. These things are not very light because of their heavy duty build, so they'll last longer than some of those other lightweight ones that we've talked about, but they are just not going to be probably ideal for those of you wanting to carry these tents into the backcountry. There are lighter options out there, so you have to weigh lightness to versatility to longevity and durability. But these are fantastic with lots of features, lots of options, and I really love the Morrison Evo series from Mountainsmith. So there you have it, folks. Links below over to Amazon that help support the channel. When you guys use those hyperlinks, it will kick you over there so you don't have to try and remember these different types of tents and tarps and what we discussed today. The links that are offered below will take you right over to Amazon where you'll get great prices, and we get a little kickback from that, so it helps me continue to buy gear just like what you see in this video and give you guys full comprehensive videos. So I thank you for using those hyperlinks that we offer to you, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video on the tarps and tents to look for your 2018 outdoor adventures as we hit the summer months and the warmer months and are able to go out and enjoy the wilderness. That's what I hope to do with you. All of these tents have been previously used extensively. All these tarps have been previously used extensively so that I can tell you and recommend to you that for us and all of our use here in the Rocky Mountains under many different conditions, we totally dig these items that we've recommended and would recommend them to you, and I hope that they will serve you well depending on what options and items you are looking for. So I want to thank you so much for coming over here today. Check us out on all the relevant social media. That's a great way to see what's up and coming. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all kinds of social media. We're posting up stuff every single week there. If you're not a regular subscriber of Gideon's Tactical, I invite you to become part of the GT family. We're throwing up videos like this every single week. For you regular subscribers, thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and I love the family that we have here at the channel. And finally, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.